as the disease spreads, as it spreads across age groups, we expect to see increase in hospitalisations, and unfortunately, those increase in hospitalisations will lead to an increase in deaths. The virus has genetically moved a bit, but it has not changed in terms of its propensity and its ability to cause disease and to cause death, even though, of course, most of the disease deaths occur in the older population. I think that the epidemic is doubling roughly every 7 days. It could be a little bit longer, maybe a little bit shorter, but let's say roughly every 7 days. If, and that's quite a big if, but if that continues unabated, and this grows doubling every 7 days, then what you see, of course, let's say there were 5,000 today, it would be 10,000 next week, 20,000 the week after, 40,000 the week after. And you can see that by mid-October, if that continued, you would end up with something like 50,000 cases in the middle of October per day.
And we have to try and do this in the least damaging way. But we all know we cannot do this without some significant downsides. And this is a balance of risk between if we don't do enough, the virus will take off. And at the moment, that is the path that we are clearly on. And if we do not change course, then we're going to find ourselves in a very difficult problem, as Patrick has laid out. A lot of people have said maybe this is a milder virus than it was in April. I'm afraid, although that would be great if that were true, we see no evidence that is the case. At the moment, because the cases started to rise most in the lowest age bands, in young adults, not in children. Children, the rates have really not increased, as the data Patrick showed young children, but in young adults, these are the group who are least likely to end up in hospital. And a point we made right from the beginning is that for many people, this remains a mild infection. But as you move up the ages, if you move into people who are more vulnerable, then the mortality rates, if people get this, rise to quite significant rates.
The UK, therefore, has put itself in a good position in terms of vaccine supply and the possibility that one of these will work. We don't yet know that they will work, but there is increasing evidence that it's pointed in the right direction, and it's possible that some vaccine could be available before the end of the year in small amounts for certain groups. Much more likely that we'll see vaccines becoming available over the first half of next year. Again, not certain, but pointed in the right direction, which then, of course, gives the possibility of a different approach to